My name is Adam, and for my entire life, I just wanted to be seen. My family saw my older brother, James, as the successful one. He had a big house, a big car, and a big salary. I, on the other hand, was just a freelancer. My family, who loved to talk about their success, saw me as a quiet, unassuming man. They didn't know that my silence was a choice that was about to change everything. If you're watching this, drop a comment below and let me know where you're from. And if you have ever felt like you were invisible to your own family, please like and subscribe. You won't want to miss what happens next. My family meetings were a regular ritual. My parents, my brother, my cousins, and my aunts and uncles would all gather at my parents' home. The meetings were always about money. They would talk about their investments, their promotions, and their financial success. I was always there, a quiet observer. They never asked me about my work. They never asked me about my dreams. I was just there, a witness to their perfect, successful lives. The meeting started, and my brother, James, was at the center of it. He was talking about his new promotion, and my parents were so proud of him. They were all talking about their success, and they were all looking at me with a sad, almost pitying look on their faces. "Adam," my mother said, her voice filled with a fake kindness. "We're all so happy for James. He's doing so well. Why don't you talk about your work?" I smiled. "I'm doing great, Mom. My work is going well." "Oh," she said, her voice now full of a condescending tone. "Well, that's good, but you need to be more ambitious. You need to be more like James." My brother, James, laughed. "Adam's not a businessman, Mom. He's just a freelancer. He doesn't make a lot of money." My heart sank. The words hurt, but I didn't let it show. I had kept my success a secret from my family because I wanted them to see me for who I was, not for my money. But they had made it clear that my worth was in my bank account, not in my heart. But they had no idea that my silence was a choice that was about to change everything. For the last few years, I had been working on a new business. It was a new kind of tech company that had grown into a multi-million-dollar business. I had kept my success a secret from my family because I wanted to see if they would still love me without my money. They had just given me my answer. Just as the meeting was about to end, a strange sound started to fill the room. It was a loud, rumbling noise. A noise that was getting closer. A noise that was about to interrupt their perfect meeting. What was that noise? And how will it change my life? The loud rumbling noise grew closer, shaking the very windows of my parents' home. My family, who had been laughing at me just moments before, was now looking at each other, confused and a little scared. My brother, James, stood up and went to the window. "What is that?" he said. He had no idea that the noise was me. My revenge was ready, and it was about to land. My family had no idea that my freelance work had grown into a multi-million-dollar tech company. They thought I was a quiet, unassuming man, but I was about to show them that I was a man of power. My revenge was not about anger or yelling. It was going to be a silent, powerful act of vindication. I had a new plan. A plan that would not only get their attention but would also make them regret their words. I had a new friend, a pilot named Bob. I called him and told him about my family meeting. "Bob," I said, "I have a new plan. I want you to make a grand entrance. I want you to land your private helicopter in my parents' backyard. I want you to make sure that the entire family sees me." Bob was in complete shock. "Adam," he said, "that's a crazy plan. Are you sure about this?" "I'm sure," I replied. "I want to make a statement. I want them to see what they have lost. The family meeting was in full swing. Everyone was talking about their success and their money. But all of a sudden, the sound of a helicopter started to fill the room. Everyone stopped talking and went to the window. My brother James looked out the window and his face was in complete shock. He saw a private helicopter descending, getting closer to my parents' backyard. The helicopter landed with a soft thump on the lawn, and the roar of the engine died down. The door opened, and I walked out. I was wearing a brand new, expensive suit. I looked confident and powerful. I looked like a man who was ready for his revenge. My family, who had told me I was poor, was now looking at me in shock. My brother, James, was frozen in his place. He was in complete disbelief. He had no idea what was happening. What will happen when I confront my family? And how will I finally get my revenge? The helicopter engine's roar died down, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. All eyes were on me. My brother James was still frozen in place, a look of complete disbelief on his face. My family, who had told me I was poor, was now looking at me in shock. They had no idea that their cruel words had just led to my biggest victory. I walked from the helicopter toward the backyard, a calm and confident smile on my face. My parents came to me, a look of shame and pride on their faces. "Adam," my mom said, her voice shaking. Is that your helicopter?" "It is, Mom," I said, my voice full of a quiet satisfaction. My father was silent, but his eyes were wide. I looked at my brother, James, who was now walking toward me. "Adam," he said, his voice a whisper. "What are you doing here? I thought you were broke." I looked at him, and I wasn't angry. I was just calm. "You told me I was poor," I said. "But what you didn't know was that my silence was a choice. I wanted you to see that my success was real, and that your mockery had no power over me." James's face went pale. "What are you talking about?" he asked. "My success," I said. "You all laughed at me, and you made me feel like I was a failure. And in doing so, you lost. You lost the chance to be a part of my success." My family had always seen me as an outsider. They had always favored James. But now, they were looking at me with a mix of awe and shame. They had no idea that the person they had told to stay away was now a man of success. They had no idea that their cruel words had just cost them everything. I had my vindication, not just in my business, but in my life. I had learned that my family wasn't about blood, it was about who was there for me when I needed them the most. And in the end, that was me. So, that's my story. It's a reminder that true wealth is not in your bank account, it's in your character. And sometimes, the best revenge is to walk away from the people who failed to see your true worth. Have you ever had to choose between your blood family and your chosen family? What did you learn? Share your stories in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to hear more real-life lessons. Thank you for listening.